Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with the best Electro Giant deck in Clash Royale without any champions. After the Electro Giant nerf, everyone stopped playing it. But SFix just climbed to number 4 in the world, beating the best players in the game using this EGIANT deck. If you play Electro Giant correctly, it's absurdly effective. And because less people are playing it, a lot of people forgot how to defend against it. If you get your opponents building out a cycle and your Electro Giant on the tower, it's pretty much game over. Because you have Cannon, Ice Spirit, and Bomber on defense, really annoying cheap cycle cards, you're going to get great positive elixir trades, allowing your Electro Giant lightning pushes to be afforded way more often. And because you don't have to use Tornado on defense, you can use it on offense to pull in Archer Queens, Dark Goblins, or any annoying ranged card that is trying to damage down your E-Giant. So let's go jump straight into some games with the new highest ranked Electro Giant deck in Clash Royale and assert dominance. Subscribe to the channel to stay connected for all the daily videos. A whole lot of love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. All right, jumping into this one, we're just going to see what's cooking. Definitely want to go for an Ice Spirit and just figure out what his deck is. Usually with this, whenever you play Electro Giant first play, you're just going to run headfirst into a building and just lose the game. So I'm not going to do that. Okay.
Overkill.
After you fireball and you're down a lot, I feel like I can. You shouldn't be going in for a fireball on top of a bomber for a negative trade after you were already down elixir. So I'm pretty happy about this. I can probably get a good lightning on top of the baby dragon and then also whatever defensive sequence he drops. Like if he goes in for a building, that would be awesome. But he's got PEKKA. Okay. So PEKKA is one of those cards that you can outcycle since you have Ice Spirit and you have Bomber and you have a quick card cycle. So what I'm planning on doing right now is using my baby dragon from the sky to make our opponent cry. It's one of those few cards that's just like, it's just going to chill there while your PEKKA does nothing and the PEKKA is going to die. So I'm hoping that the Ice Spirit doesn't jump onto the PEKKA and it just jumps onto the tower instead. Let's go. So currently, even though we didn't use our Electro Giant at all to get tower damage, we're up like 900. And because he's got a slower cycle than me, I can with confidence cycle my Electro Giant at the river and guarantee that he's not going to be able to PEKKA immediately. So he's going to have to go Dark Prince. He'll probably go for an Electro Wizard and we can Tornado the Electro Wizard in with the Tornado. So this is how I like to play the deck. Even if you play against PEKKA, you will be able to win if you outcycle their PEKKA. You just know that, hey, if I have Ice Spirit and I have Bomber, you're not going to have a problem with the PEKKA because they just can't drop it as quick as you can. They're cycling their 4 elixir cards, like their Baby Dragon, their Dark Prince, and then they're like, wait, I can't keep up with you. I'm not made of money. I'm not made of elixir here. And with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining, I think all I have to do is just get a little bit more chip damage. So I'm going to Baby Dragon here and see if he like just messes up and lets it lock onto the tower. Very annoying because he just PEKKA'd. So he wants to build up a big push with the PEKKA. So if I Baby Dragon there, now he has to go all in. Or he wouldn't be able to support his PEKKA push and he would have to drop an Electro Wizard or a Dark Prince or something to body block that. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm just going to go in for a Lightning on this, use a Tornado on top of the Balloon, and then be completely fine. I think this is a GG. This is something that you want to do. Just go for the Tornado and pull the Balloon directly to the King Tower. You always have to take one hit. You can't necessarily stop that. And with 40 seconds remaining with a King Tower activation, with an Electro Giant, Baby Dragon, Tornado, and Cannon, there's nothing this man can do. Yeah, so there was nothing this man could do at all. It was pretty funny to see him stack up dragons that just continuously got lightning, spamming balloons and PEKKAs right into the great abyss of multiple cannons. And it shows you guys, if you outcycle the PEKKA just once, that's enough devastating damage to instantaneously win you the game. All right, we got a game against Red Hawk with a Lightning Bolt. Dude, I think you're ready for the electrifying experience of playing against Electro Giant. Very unfortunate that, you know, I don't have Tornado in my hand. I'm just going to let the Dark Prince do its thing. I wonder if it gets 2 hits or 1. Oh, it gets 2. So even with an Ice Spirit and a Dark Prince, you're not able to deny more than 2 hits. That's crazy. All right, so it is what it is. I'm going to go Bomber in the back. When his Hog Rider is out of cycle, I can go for an Electro Giant if I wanted to play very aggressive. Yeah, so I'm going to do that now. Because your Ice Golem is out of cycle, so if you Hog Rider other side and you get back to it and you cycle a whole bunch of cheap distractions, you can't stop me from Tornadoing it to the King Tower. Very rarely do you Electro Giant in single elixir, but you can Electro Giant when your opponent's win condition is out of cycle. You can Electro Giant when you know that you're going to be able to counter the win condition for a good elixir trade. And you can Electro Giant when your opponent's buildings are out of cycle too. So those are the reasons why I would ever do that in single. I guess a third reason would be knowing that my Electro Giant's going to kill like an Inferno Dragon, a Night Witch, or just kill my opponent's cards. So more of like a defensive utilization of the card instead of like, hey, I want to get damage here. But as you guys can see, wasn't able to do anything with the Hog Rider. He goes in for a mirrored cannon. Pretty unfortunate for us that he had mirror. If he didn't, then we would have been in a really good spot with Electro Giant on the tower. Probably, 1,800 damage bare minimum. It is what it is. He would have been struggling to defend with the Musketeer and then a log, and it just wouldn't have worked out very well for him. I'm going to go for a bomber in the back, and I expect him to go in for a Hog Rider again. So this time I'm going to go for cannon. He keeps fireballing on that. You stay fireballing on that, bro. That's not a good play for you. Maybe I can push my Electro Giant past his cannon. That's kind of what I'm hoping for right now. I'm going to go in for a cannon of my own instead of going in for a tornado. Because if I tornadoed, the skeletons would have locked onto my tower and it would have been really, really bad. So that was a great placement on our opponent's end, going in for skeletons afterward. I'm going to go for Dark Prince. I'm going to try to push the Electro Giant a little bit. Sometimes that does work if they go in for a really far placement. The Dark Prince is going to be on the outside, and then the Electro Giant's like, wait, I just got to stay with my friend, my Dark Prince brother. Okay, so right now in the game, this is where the deck starts to really ramp up for us. It starts to get extremely good in double and in the late game because I can stack up Electro Giants and afford my Lightning. In single elixir, you're trying to find your way through if your opponent makes mistakes or they give you good opportunities. But he hasn't given me too many so far. That's really interesting to see that. I think I can just go in for a Dark Prince here and then a cannon right after. I need to go for a cannon in a worse placement because he ended up getting things off to the side, so I think that the Hog Rider wouldn't have gotten pulled. So it was just important for me to recognize on that. Okay, so the Ice Spirit's going to not get wasted. Feels good, man. I can Lightning on top of the Musketeer as well if he goes in for a cannon nearby. If he doesn't, okay, I'm just going to Lightning on it. It's worth it. The Musketeer is going to die. We can hit the cannon too. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? And I have Electro Giant back in cycle. This is insane. There's no way he's stopping that. That is so much pain. So, as you guys can see, Electro Giant is a really good card still if you have patience to play it. A lot of times you're not going to be able to break through your opponent's defenses if they've got mirror cannon and single elixir, but when you hit double and you hit your stride and you hit good positive elixir trades on defense, you'll have an overwhelming amount of elixir to throw it at your opponent and break through. Basically with EGIANT, double elixir is where it's at. Alright, so jumping into this one against Game of Throne. Apparently he's not a part of the Thrones, he's a part of the singular one. If he's going to go bats in the back, usually that means it's either going to be like a Lava Hound clone deck or maybe a really aggressive fast cycle deck with Royal Hogs. Okay, Valkyrie. Neither of them? What are you going to be playing, man? I'm going to Dark Prince on the right-hand side to try to force out some extra elixir there. I can maybe go in for a Baby Dragon the same side as the Valkyrie. There's a lot of potential for our opponent, and I want him to mess up bad. So I'm going to Lightning. Oh, let's go. I was going to say, please, click your ability, and it worked out. That was awesome. I can Ice Spirit to pull back the Valkyrie. The Dark Prince isn't going to give us anything, but the Valkyrie won't give him anything either. So playing against a Archer Queen Valkyrie fast cycle deck, got to be Mortar. 100% Mortar, which is not a good matchup typically for us. I'm going to go for Cannon, and I think I have to Tornado back the bats so they don't ruin my game. Please, Cannon, be enough damage. Just one more hit. Finish off the Miner too. Let's go. That's so lucky. I'm really stoked that that worked out well. So a lot of times people aren't expecting Cannon with Electro Giant for whatever reason anymore. It's not meta, so people used to play against this every single game, but after like a couple months, people are going to forget how to play against it, and that's just the epitome of it. When your opponent goes in for a Miner expecting the bats to survive, and then the Tornado just sweeps them all away and allows you to finish off the Mortar. Okay, so one thing I want to do is I want to cycle the Baby Dragon here because he's going to have the Valkyrie. Not super comfortable for our opponent, and then we can Electro Giant in the face of the Archer Queen. So when he clicks the Archer Queen ability, it's just going to finish itself off a little bit faster. Watch, he's going to click the ability, he's going to lock right onto the E-Giant, and he's going to feel like a fool. Isn't that hilarious to see? Because now he has to deal with the Electro Giant as well. He's got to go for a Mortar on defense when the Archer Queen, which was a 6 elixir investment since he clicked the ability, was already deleted by the E-Giant. So we essentially got 10 elixir from a 7 elixir Electro Giant because he went in for a Mortar and 6 elixir from the Queen plus her ability. That's hilarious. Those are the type of trades that you want to do with this deck if you want to be successful. Ice Spirit should hit everything. Nice. That was so clean. Another +1 elixir trade. So we're gradually getting the elixir advantage, allowing us to go for an E-Giant at the river if he messes up. So he's going to click the Archer Queen ability and he's going to lock onto my tower. But we're going to Tornado it back, so then he doesn't have the Archer Queen ability anymore. Oh, no. He's so scared of the defense that he's not even able to go in for the Archer Queen. Let's go. So yeah, if your opponent messes up a building against Electro Giant, they automatically lose. And it just shows you, even after the nerf, it's a very destructive and annoying card to play against. With 25 seconds remaining, there's nothing this guy can do to dig himself out of that hole. The dude just rage quit. Instead of Game of Thrones, this guy was in Game of Moans, absolute agony and anger. Jumping into the game against Go-Go, we're going to see if he lives up to his name and spams everything at the river. Go-Go, man, give me the positive elixir trades. Dump stuff into my Dark Prince. He's not doing it. So He's going to have Heal Spirit and Electro Wizard. I don't know what this is. This feels really weird. Oh, it's got to be Sparky, right? Like 100% a Sparky deck. So I want to go for a Lightning here, so we're able to one-tap the Mini P.EKKA. And he thought the Mini P.EKKA would kill the Dark Prince, but it didn't. So now we're able to tank for the Baby Dragon and just get a bajillion damage. That's not good luck. I thought that one out. Okay, so whenever we play against Sparky, we want to make sure that we defend his big giant or goblin giant with our cannon, and then utilize our Ice Spirit and our Bomber correctly. That's how we're going to win this game. That's how we're set up for success. So we're going to pull the Giant as much as we possibly can. We're going to go in for a Bomber in the middle. The Heal Spirit seems rather wasted for our opponent. I can Ice Spirit here as well, and then I can go in for a Dark Prince afterwards. So hopefully we're going to be able to take the targeting from everything with this Tornado, and Mini P.EKKA is going to lock onto the wrong thing, and the Bomber is going to take the hit. Let's go. That was about as well as it could have been. I don't think I could have played much better than that. The cannon in the optimal placement made sure that it stayed live just long enough to finish off the Mini P.EKKA, and then the Bomber walked up so it got shot instead of the tower getting hit by the Sparky shot. So worked out really well. Also, remember, he cycled his Mini P.EKKA, so he only has Sparky right now with Electro Wizard. So he's not going to have an amazing answer to this, and I can Lightning potentially as well. So I'm considering Lightning. I don't think it's the right play anymore because I don't know if Sparky's... Yeah, it went other side. That's kind of what we thought was going to happen. I was like, it's just shot itself into a different lane right now. It doesn't know where it wants to go. It's going left, it's going right, and with all of its might, it's definitely going to give him some value if the cannon or Dark Prince don't get down in time. But since you have a cheap elixir investment with Ice Spirit and Bomber, you can always have ample distractions for the Sparky. He's got Mini P.EKKA in cycle now, so I'm going to go in for an Electro Giant. E-Wiz won't be able to stop everything. I think that with only Mini P.EKKA, I don't know. Do you stop this? I don't have Elixir for the Lightning. I wish I did. Because if I went in for the Lightning, I would just lose to the counter push. So I'm not about that life. I knew that he knew that I was not going to do that. But he needed to play very aggressive and just see if he had the opportunity. So for whatever reason, that wasn't how it was supposed to go down. It's okay, I guess, because the cannon's able to kill the Giant. But I was hoping that we would get a bit more value. One other thing that I've noticed is a lot of people don't Lightning on top of units. Like, his units were so spaced out that I didn't have the availability of Lightning on top of the tower too. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to get my tower damage for sure. I'm going to make sure that we escort our Electro Giant towards the tower and not have to respond to his Mini P.EKKA and Electro Wizard. Just something to keep in mind. So he's going to Sparky. I think this is fine for us. We can Tornado this and then Lightning it if we really wanted to. And that's pretty fun. I think it's hilarious to just be able to Lightning the tower and then hit that as well. And then make sure that his Sparky's never able to shoot anything. He's not having a good time in this game. Let's just suffice to say that. So he's Mini P.EKKAing again very aggressively, so he's all-inning at this point. As long as the Mini P.EKKA doesn't hit our tower, we can Electro Giant, and then he loses because the Sparky's not able to kill this in time. So I'm going to go in for a Dark Prince. He's going to Tornado everything back, but then I can Lightning, or I could even Tornado on that if I wanted to pull it into the Dark Prince instead. What are those? What are you doing? You're making this game go so much longer, man. Okay, so I've won this with 147 HP on the tower. He's just going to make me Lightning again. So he eventually lost the game. He just made it take forever. All right, we got a game against Chris. Apparently, he's a part of the Maximus family. He feels like a little bit of a gladiator to me. And if you're going to be running Dark Goblin with Goblin Barrel and a fast cycle, I am not going to be glad to see you. This is one of the most difficult matchups for our deck because we don't have a Bard Barrel. We don't have a log. We have nothing for Goblin Barrel, assuming he's got a log bait deck. So I'll have to Tornado it to the King Tower if he doesn't drop it in the safe spot, and we'll see what he decides to do. Genuinely, in this matchup, like, I'm hoping that he makes a mistake, or he gives me an opportunity to go in for an Electro Giant when he shouldn't. So that's off to the side. I'm just going to Ice Spirit it. It's a little bit safer to play it that way and just, you know, build up a big push when your opponent's like, hey, he's going to have Tornado. I don't want to give him a free King Tower activation. They're always going to clump up their Goblin Barrel on the outside corner, so then you can defend with either your Dark Prince or using Ice Spirit even, and that works pretty well. I think Tornadoing the Dark Goblin into us is likely going to be worth it since we're able to one-tap it. And then without the Dark Goblin being in cycle, I think he's going to probably go in for a Goblin Barrel. So we're going to go for a Dark Prince and try to have that charge on the next Goblin Barrel that's going to come down. But the Dark Goblin died. He's not going to have an amazing answer to this with the Valkyrie out of cycle too. He has to cycle Fire Spirit, Dark Goblin, and then maybe get back to the Valkyrie. I don't know. He's going to log instead. So that Dark Prince is definitely going to hit the tower for a charge. Let's go. That is so clutch. So I can go in for a cannon here. So then the Dark Goblin locks onto that. And then we're able to minimize the amount of damage that he gets with the annoying Goblin Barrel coming at us. So I gotta be real. I don't know if I can win this if I cycle Electro Giants in the back because he'll just rocket my tower and hit the EGIANT. Fact is, though, He always has to overspend on top of Fire Spirit or Ice Spirit in this situation. So he's going to Fire Spirit. If he doesn't have that in cycle, then he has to overspend. I'm going to go Baby Dragon. He should probably rocket that. If he doesn't, I can Lightning on top of the Baby Dragon counters. Like if he goes in for a Dark Goblin here, I will definitely Lightning it. I was hoping that the Baby Dragon wouldn't cross the river, so then I could Lightning on the Dark Goblin and then keep the Baby Dragon really, really healthy, but it didn't work out that way. I'm going to Ice Spirit, and I'm going to use Bomber. Oh my gosh, he dropped it in the back. Let's go. That is so lucky for us. I'm not going to fib. That was not something I deserved, but I'll take it. So the rocket is out of cycle, so I can Gallivant through with my Electro Giant in the back, and then I think I can go for a Lightning if he goes in for a building. This is how we want to play it. We're hoping that our opponent makes a slight misplay and allows the Fire Spirit to go into the Baby Dragon every single time, never hitting our E-Giant and our tower. And then he goes Dark Goblin when he shouldn't, right? So we're hoping he Dark Goblins, and I can like Lightning on the cannon and hit the Dark Goblin. That's what we're going for here. Exactly what we wanted, and then I can go in for the Bomber to finish off the cannon, and then I cycle back into another Electro Giant because the cannon's gone, so it has to take him another 4 cards to get back to it. And because our deck is really quick card cycle, unlike other Electro Giant decks, we can actually outpace buildings. He's going to go in for another cannon here soon, so I'm going to Baby Dragon on top of that and the Dark Goblin, which is nice because we're able to splash onto both of them, right? Wait, what? How did that not splash onto the Dark Goblin? I want a freaking refund of my elixir. I'm going to go Ice Spirit, so then it jumps back onto the Goblin instead of hitting the Fire Spirit. That's pretty nice. I'm in a terrible spot, though, guys. This matchup is not easy. I think out of all the matchups for this deck, this is the hardest one. So I'm an Electro Giant. I think he's going to give us a really nice Lightning if he goes in for a Dark Goblin off to the side, so we're aiming for hitting that as well. Going to go Goblin Barrel, so I have to Baby Dragon here and then just eat the damage. And then I guess I'm going to Lightning on top of the Dark Goblin because it walks into it every single time, which is nice. I can keep his Valkyrie at bay with the Dark Prince. And then looks like the Electro Giant's going to lock onto the tower. A little bit more reflection damage. Come on now. Let's go. Baby Dragon's locking and loading. It's going to be able to finish off the skeletons. And then I can maybe go for another Baby Dragon. I can just stack up Baby Dragons and play this like an air deck. I'm basically playing Lava Hound. If this Lightning allows me to break through a Valkyrie and have the Baby Dragon lock on the tower, I win. That's exactly what we needed, baby. GG, well played, peace out. So playing against Logbait, you kind of have to make them mess up, allowing your Electro Giants or your Baby Dragons to lock onto the tower. If you can sneak your way through, you might be able to sneak the W. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an amazing rest of your day.